Why is nothing changing? You've been reading all these books, you've been watching all of these videos, you've been doing everything right, you've been gaining all that knowledge. You understand everything so much better, yet nothing changes. You are still shy, you are still reserved, awkward, introverted. You still can't be yourself, you still can't be confident and authentic. If you relate to this, then you're probably in the mud. And more information is not what you need. What you need is to face your bluff, because you're currently caught in a trap of your mind. Statistically, people tend to watch the content and to like the advice, to take the advice that resonates with their beliefs. So, in other words, if you don't like to go ahead and interact with people out there, you are so much more likely to take the advice that says, stay locked up inside of your house and just meditate. And that's gonna solve all your problems. But that's not what you need. All of this advice that you see online is for everyone, and every single person is different. There are some pieces of advice that are for you, and there are some pieces of advice that are for other people. And then in the same way, if there is an extroverted person who is comfortable going out there but is very uncomfortable sitting alone, locked up in their house, they are much more likely to take the advice that they see online to go out there and engage in social situations because they are afraid of being alone. I have sensed this for myself a lot. Back in the day when I was working on my social skills, I heard this advice that you have to be aware of what's going on inside and all your feelings and sensations, and go ahead and talk to people, talk to strangers, expose yourself to uncomfortable situations because that's where the value is. And I was just like, yeah, that's great advice. And then I would just go ahead and watch a video of the top 5 ways of becoming charismatic and implementing every single one of them and trying to be confident and cool and have this relaxed alpha male body language because that's what promises you that you're gonna have a great social experience. But that's not the truth. And change didn't come until I took the advice that I didn't want to take. And this happened in the gym as well. I heard the advice that you have to go to failure every single time because that's when your muscles will be growing. And I was just like, yeah, that sounds great. That really makes sense. And then I would just watch another video of why hitting failure is not that optimal because muscles don't actually grow like that, and a lot of science explanations of that thing. And I ended up obeying the second type of video because that was what I wanted to hear. And I made no progress until I indulged into until I accepted the first piece of advice. And that's when I saw great progress. So you see, there is so much value in discomfort. So again, if you're a shy, isolated, introverted person, perhaps what you need to do is to go out there in the world, to start talking to people, to strangers, to take ownership of your speech in a group conversation. But your mind, I'm sure, your mind will automatically generate so many valid excuses of, yeah, but it's too cold, but my shoulder hurts, but I can just stay inside and I can vividly visualize this experience. And you know that when you visualize something like that, your brain can't tell the difference between an imagined experience and a real experience. So I'm just gonna stay inside, visualize it, and go through the experience like this. Like, no, no, stop with all the coping. Stop with the coping and go ahead and do what you least want to do because that's the only way you will make progress. Stop allowing your mind to keep you small, to keep you playing so small. Do you want to win or do you just want to not lose? Growth happens where you find resistance. So the thing that triggers you the most might just be the thing that you need to do the most. Maybe that's the missing piece of the puzzle for you actually changing, for you actually going through a transformation. So the next time you hear some advice online that you don't really agree with, but it is on the topic that promises you transformation, just pause and think to yourself, like, is there some value, like logically, objectively, and taking your discomfort and pain outside of the equation. Is there some value in this? Is there something that I could really use? Although I don't want to accept it, although I think it's painful and all the negative sensations would come up if I did this, is there value in it? You can't grow by staying in the comfort zone. You can only grow through discomfort. And if you stay in your comfort zone, you will keep being average. You don't want to hear it, but that's the truth. You will keep being average. You will keep being the same. Nothing will change. So the only choice you have is to take the action and to face your bluff and to stop with all that coping. And your progress, your change, your success is guaranteed.